We're absolutely surrounded by digital tools that all promise to make our lives easier, to make us more productive. But let's be honest, a lot of the time they just leave us feeling, well, overwhelmed. Today, we're diving into a really interesting idea from Diversified UA that the real secret to getting in the zone isn't some new fancy app. It might just be finding a much, much simpler playground. So let me just ask you this straight up. Do you ever get that feeling? You sit down at your desk, you open up your computer, and it just feels heavy. Like you're fighting with your own software instead of, actually getting anything done. Yeah. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, I promise you are not the only one. It's this super common feeling, this kind of digital friction that honestly can lead to some serious burnout if we're not careful. And this gets us to what the author calls the overwhelmed workflow. It's kind of the default setting for so many of us in the modern world. But the good news is, it really doesn't have to be. I mean, think about our usual digital playground, right? It's just packed with these endless dashboards, a million little toggles and switches, and these really complicated interfaces. And hey, even on these super powerful tools like ChatGPT or the Claude app, it's there. And what's the result? Instead of feeling empowered, we just feel swamped. But what if there's another way to work? A different path? The author we're following here kind of stumbled into a totally different and much, much quieter playground. And here it is, the big reveal. The solution wasn't some flashy new piece of software. It was the exact opposite, the command line interface, the terminal. Yeah, just a simple, blinking cursor in a black box. But this wasn't a step backward. It was a step into a space of pure, unfiltered focus. And this move, it triggered a huge mental shift. Instead of seeing his workspace as this rigid, complex tool that just creates friction and slows you down, he started seeing it as a simple, direct canvas, a place that actually empowers you and lets you get into that state of flow. So what is this new playground actually made of? It's so simple, it's beautiful. There are no dashboards trying to grab your attention. There are no toggles to fiddle with. It boils down to just three things: the text you're writing, the files you're working on, and your own intention. That's it. Simple, right? And this leads us to the real heart of this whole piece. And it's a big one. Joy is a signal. It's not just some fluffy, nice-to-have feeling. It's actual data. It's information telling you that you are on the right path. The big breakthrough here wasn't about suddenly cranking out more work or finishing some huge project. No, it was about a change in feeling. As the author put it, things just felt lighter. And why? Because all of that unnecessary friction, all that digital weight was just gone. This whole experience led the author to this really powerful three-part mantra for working. The first part is flow without force. You know that feeling, right, when you're so absorbed in what you're doing that progress feels completely natural, completely effortless? You're not pushing a boulder uphill anymore. You're just gliding. The second part of the mantra is execution without overhead. This is all about closing that gap between having an idea and actually doing it. When your tools are simple and direct, you can just do the thing without getting bogged down by a bunch of complicated systems or administrative nonsense. And finally, the third part, joy without pressure. This is maybe the most important one. It's about getting back to the simple pleasure of making things just for the sake of it. It's about letting go of that constant pressure to perform and reconnecting with that spark that got you excited in the first place. Okay, so this isn't just some personal, philosophical thing. The author had this amazing realization that this exact same pattern, this fight between friction and flow, is playing out on a massive scale in the world of professional digital marketing. And right here, this is where the parallel just clicks into place. On a personal level, you've got the friction from complex UIs, and the solution is the directness of the command line. Now, look at the professional world. You've got the friction of these walled gardens like Meta and Google, and the solution is the open, direct approach of programmatic advertising. See? It's the exact same logic, just on a much bigger stage. When you're stuck inside those walled gardens, you're dealing with rising costs, you can't really track what's working, and you only see a tiny, limited piece of the picture. But programmatic advertising, that operates across the whole open web. It gives you transparent metrics and real insights into what's actually driving results. It's a move toward clarity and, frankly, taking back control. So, what does all of this actually mean for you? Look, the message here isn't that we all need to drop everything and become command line wizards. Not at all. It's got a principle that applies to literally everyone. You get to define your own playground. You make the rules. I just love this quote because it cuts right to the heart of it. The specific tool you use really doesn't matter. What matters is finding a space, a tool, a method, whatever, that is quiet. A workflow that doesn't try to show off or tell you how you should work, but just humbly asks, okay, what do you want to get done? Because at the end of the day, this is the real work. It's not about just ticking off boxes on a to-do list or hitting some arbitrary metric. The real work is listening to that quiet inner signal, that little spark of joy or excitement, and just following your curiosity wherever it wants to go. So I'll leave you with the same question the author does. Take a look at your own work, your own life, and for just a second, forget about what you should be doing. What's genuinely, truly calling your attention right now? What are you secretly excited to work on? That's your signal. Follow it.